Hey everyone, and we're back to doing some soloing again. And also welcome back to this solo list that I haven't touched upon in a number of months. Plus a bit of fun news on this front, which also has to do with why I haven't uploaded anything new to my channel in a couple of weeks. But we'll get to that. The list that I speak of being the top 50 greatest underrated, underappreciated, and or unknown guitar solos of all time that I was at one time burning my way through. Now, before I shut this list down a number of months ago at number 34, I think, I had thrown out the idea that I would just drop the whole underrated, underappreciated aspect of it and just continue on with solos that I feel are great solos that just don't get the love and attention that they deserve, in my opinion, whether they're truly underrated or not. And that's what I'm doing. Few would call this one, this solo to Ride the Lightning, underrated or underappreciated. Though, to be fair, and despite the fact that Kirk Hammett was on Guitar World magazine's top 100 greatest guitar solos list 3 or 4 times for other solos, this one didn't make a dent. So there's that, underrated. But it is considered one of Kirk Hammett's best solos in a general sense. But before we dig into it, I'm just going to quickly backtrack a little bit to explain just why I haven't done one of these in quite some time. To be quite frank, I was a bit soloed out. I spent nearly 3 years of doing nothing but learning and playing guitar solos. Between this list and Guitar World's top 100 list, I had to tap out for a bit and do something else to keep myself interested and busy. Namely, my countdown of the greatest 10 riffs through each year, starting in 1970. I've done 5 of those videos thus far, with much more to come. However, we're back to soloing again, like I said, and with good reason, and kind of a fun reason. And that reason is I joined a band. Me, at 57 years old, the patron saint of bedroom players, as one of my subscribers so kindly dubbed me, who hasn't set foot on a stage in 35 years, just joined my first gigging band in as many years. And what band might that be, you may ask? Well, I am now the lead guitarist for my small city's one and only Metallica tribute band. I'm now filling the shoes of Kirk Hammett, I suppose. Funny, but when the opportunity came up, my first thought was, damn, I'm too old to join a Metallica cover band. And then I thought, well, you know, shit, I'm actually younger than most of the actual guys in Metallica, and they're still going full bore. So let's do this shit, you know? I sent the boys a couple of my Metallica covers from YouTube, and was pretty much hired on the spot on the strength of those. Not surprisingly, they had never heard of me, and with pretty good reason. I haven't played on the local music scene in well over 30 years. They thought that they knew all of the decent to good to great metal guitar players in the city, and when their lead guitarist quit, they pretty much figured that the band was done. Gonna be difficult to find a soloist who can handle all of Kirk Hammett's solos and know Metallica's entire catalog in this rather small city. And this is where I come in. I heard about the opening and thought, I could bloody well do that. And it might be fun to be in a band environment again and play with other musicians. That it's all Metallica all the time was just added bonus. Anyway, set list in hand. I've been working my way through it over the past couple of weeks, getting myself ready for my first rehearsal with the guys. And after learning the solos to Hit the Lights and Four Horsemen off the first album, it was time to tackle this solo, the Ride the Lightning solo, a couple of nights ago. Now, while the solos to Hit the Lights and Four Horsemen are hard and fast and relatively complicated, they're just fairly basic, fast, thrashy type solos. Not a whole lot of melody to speak of going on in those solos. However, it was this solo, upon learning it, that really opened my eyes and ears to just how clever and melodically brilliant Kirk Hammett could be when he was at the top of his game back in the 80s. This is just a beautifully constructed guitar solo and beautifully played. However, with that said, after digging into it and doing a little bit of research, I actually discovered that there's a bit of controversy with regards to this one. Some people out there firmly believe that this was a Dave Mustaine guitar solo that Kirk Hammett copied note for note. in the studio. You see, Ride the Lightning was the last Metallica track to give a writing credit to Dave Mustaine, who, as you know, was the initial lead guitarist of the band before being fired. Now, some say that it's a bit too stylistically similar to Dave Mustaine's style of play, and quite unlike any of the other solos Kirk put down on the Ride the Lightning album. I disagree with that assessment. Regardless, with the Mustaine writing credit given on the album, some theorized that this was a Mustaine penned solo and that Kirk didn't actually compose it, though of course he did play it. Personally, I'm not buying it. Kirk has stated that it's one of his personal favorite solos that he's ever done, and Dave Mustaine has never said a word about it, as far as I can tell. And I'm absolutely certain that he would have, given his disdain for Metallica over the years. So, sorry, naysayers. This one's all Kirk, I'm sure of it. And like I said, it's one of his finest. It's got a little bit of everything going on within its minute 20 runtime. Some two-handed tapping, some octave work, scale runs, key changes, some really quick classic metal licks, ascending, descending arpeggios, outside-the-box notes, so on and so forth. A real masterclass in 80s metal soloing, if you ask me. In my humble opinion, it's one of, if not the best solo Kirk Hammett ever put together. And as an added bonus, there's not a hint of wah pedal to be found anywhere. Good stuff. And well, that's all I got to say about that one. I hope you're well in your little guitar corner of the world, and I hope you enjoyed this video and my news, I suppose, that I'm playing. I'm gigging again. And you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.